Hi, everybody. This is Dimitris Eleas from New York with my yellow pencil and my life experience, as I say. I'm going to mention a few things to you, to discuss with you regarding Iran. What is happening in Iran? What is going to happen in Iran? And I'm going to say a few things as an activist, as a human being, as a, as a political scientist, and as a writer. Uh, I want to start from uh, the editorial that the Wall Street Journal had a few days ago. Its title was "The Deal in Iran is Regime Change." It's from February 3, 2026, and I want to show it to you. As we all know, it's a very important newspaper in America. All the policymakers read it, and of course, it's read widely in capitals like London, Paris, and Berlin. But also, I want to mention the editorial from New York Post, the oldest newspaper in New York City, is a sister newspaper of Wall Street Journal, by the way. And as you can see here, the editorial says Trump must hit Iran. So this is what many people read in the East Coast of the United States. And as we can see, as you see, the headline in the Wall Street Journal says it all. I want also to say a few more things regarding Iran. We all know that there is a nuclear program there. We all know that there is a missile program, and Iran has been developing over the last 15, 20 years missile capabilities. And we all know that there is an oppression keep happening in Iran, in the Iranian society, and it is going on since the 12-day war we had in June of 2025. So, so what happens next in Iran? Some in the West say that Iranians must achieve regime change entirely on their own. History suggests otherwise. External pressure often determines whether a tyranny falls or recovers. Let's be honest, whatever people want to call it, diplomacy, deterrence, or restraint, the moment Iran's regime started slaughtering its own people, the old rules ended. Some estimations say that 20, 30,000 people have died over the last months in Iran. This is atrocious. Mass killings don't end resistance, they change it. The world is watching. Thus, this isn't about nuclear enrichment percentages anymore. This is about a regime that chose bullets over legitimacy. So here's what happens next, and why none of this is accidental. Thus, regime change stops being a taboo, not only for the Wall Street Journal, but for all of us. Of course, I can say here that in the headline of Wall Street Journal, an element of imperialism can be someone can detect an element of imperialism, but it's not exactly like this. Many people in the West, many people, logical people, rational people, want to see a regime change there. Thus, in a way, uh, something is going to happen. Something is happening there. I can't say again that it's going to happen something similar to what happened in Caracas, in Venezuela, to cut off the head of the regime, and the regime will keep going, because Iran is an entirely different situation. I have here 10 points, 10 bullet points for you, and I want to mention to you. One, diplomacy becomes theater. So we know that people meet in Oman to try to discuss the nuclear program of Iran and the ending of the missile program. But the real decisions are being made off camera. Okay. Two, the regime responds the only way it knows how. So it panics. This is what it means. And it panics because they are scared. The Revolutionary Guards, the Iranian army, and all the people there that support the elite to govern the way it does. Three, the US military presence locks in. As I mentioned already, a massive US armada is assembling near the Gulfian, the Persian Gulf. There is a reason for this. There is a reason why the Navy positions and itself close to the Iranian waters. Four, sanctions don't loosen, they sharpen. I mean, we know that the sanctions haven't helped much Iran the last 15, 20 years. Money from the oil revenue, from the exports uh, of oil, uh, go to Hezbollah in southern Lebanon, in groups in Syria, in Yemen, and of course in Hamas. And we all know what happened with Hamas a few years ago. Five, Israel doesn't stop, it gets more precise. I mean, we all know what this means, we all understand what this means. I want to mention here that was, Iran under Khomeini, not under Shah, was founded, the theocratic regime was founded under an aim, a big aim, to wipe off the map Israel. Six, Iran proxies start to crack. I mentioned already. I mean, and they lose direction because, in a way, Iran has no direction too. Seven, the protest movement evolves, not disappears. This is quite important as well. I mean, it may seem to some people that people go and they lock the door and they stay in their house, but no, there are reports that the society in Iran wants to see a big change, wants to turn the Iran uh, in the 70s, in the beginning of the 70s. Eight, Russia and China keep their distance. We all know that Beijing and Moscow say big words, but they never help in a way their allies. They never help. They never support their friends. I mean, we know what happened in Venezuela and so many other countries. And countries like Russia and China, they are big powers in the multipolar world that we live in. And Iran, in a way, is a medium-sized power. And big powers like Iran and China, they don't care much for medium-sized powers or small powers. I mean, this is what the international relations show the last years, the last decades as well. So, nine, regime change stops being a taboo topic. This is the reason I started and I mentioned the headline of Wall Street Journal. And 10, the decisive war is inside Iran. And what I mean here is the truth most people miss. The most important fight isn't America versus Iran or Iran versus Israel, if you want. It's the Iranian people versus a regime that has lost fear, legitimacy, and control. History shows how this ends. Not overnight, but inevitably. We all know what happened to many dictatorships around the world in 20th century and in other periods of the human history. I want also to mention here to say from ancient times, I want to go a bit farther back if you allow me. From ancient times, when Darius and Xerxes sought to wipe ancient Greece off the map, to today's mullahs who threaten Israel and chant death to America. The ideology has shifted, but the impulse endures. Iran rulers made their choice when they turned their guns on their own citizens. What comes next isn't chaos, it's consequence. And the world is watching whether courage or cowardice wins. I want also to mention here a post theocratic Iran would bring fresh air to the region, weaken Beijing and Moscow, and offer hope to long suppressed peoples, including the heroic Kurds. This is not adventurism or imperialism. In a way, for some people, it can be, or it can be seen, as I said before earlier. It is a moral stance. When history opens the door, leadership means not shutting it. So I say all this for the people of Iran, for the brave people of Iran, that they deserve to live under a better regime and they deserve to take their future in their own hands. I don't think also that it has to be allowed. We can't have in Iran another Iraq. So the changes must be very careful. Uh, uh, the Iranian society must be helped to take their future in their hands, but also they need they need to start voting when this regime collapses. Eventually, they need to start voting at the local level and at the national level, so they can elect their own leaders, their own people. And I won't see. I don't think that is also a good idea. A good idea. The son of the Shah, I think, lives in the west coast of the United States or in the east coast, to return and to become again the head of state of Iran. I think the Iranians deserve a better future. They deserve to live in a society that guarantees civil liberties, and they need themselves to go to the ballots to elect, as I said, leaders at the local, at the national level. Is an important country, is a big country, rich in natural resources, and you can't take all this money from the oil revenue, from the exports of oil, and channel this money to Hezbollah in southern Lebanon, in Yemen, in Hamas, to rebel groups in Syria and other countries. I mean, and the people in Iran, because it's a big country, keep getting poorer. Yes, I can accept that there is education system that's quite good. That I can accept that there are some good engineers, but no, is a regime that has so many journalists and so many activists in prisons. Is what it does the same. It plays the same game like Beijing does, like Moscow does. All the enemies of Putin have been killed, or have been exterminated, or have been imprisoned. I mean, the same happens in Iran. So no, yes, in the West, in countries like France, United Kingdom, Germany, America, and Canada, there are also problems. But you can't criticize your government. If you are a journalist or an activist, you can't write a piece without being afraid that you're going to be kicked in the street, or you're going to be killed, or you're going to be in prison. So, yes, the West has problems, because I see as well over the last months, over the last years, people keep attacking the West, keep attacking Europe, and keep attacking North America. But the West is the best place to be, the best place to live. And the West must help all the world to become better, all people in the world to live in regimes with civil liberties, and to have the right to elect and the right to be elected. And of course, the problem in America is on a different level, that or in the West, that the big problem as well is that the money keeps gathering in 5,000 pair of hands, and this must stop there as well, and must stop in all places, and in so many countries around the world. So this is the things I say to you, and I think I said all this, and I make my small comments because it's for the people of Iran. It's for the great people live there. And I remember in London, I met a few Iranians, and they were wonderful people and very, very clever. All of them in mathematics, in science, and in computing. So at the same time, something lasts for the regime that is going to fall. Eventually, it's going to fall. The sooner the better, but carefully, carefully. Uh, the West do not have the luxury to see another Iraq or another Afghanistan or another Libya or another Syria. The West must be very careful in this. Also, I want to say something regarding the regime in Iran, the theocratic regime. Who are the friends of Iran? And who are the enemies of Iran? Yes, the regional enemies of Iran, in a way, it can be countries like UAE, like Saudi Arabia, and Qatar also in a way. Uh, Israel, if you want, for reasons you understand, for reasons are very rational. The foundation of theocratic regime under Khomeini in 1971 was founded on the principle and the idea that Israel must be wiped off the map. So this will never be allowed to happen. And as soon as they don't change course, Israel has also interest and rights to see or even to help a regime change in Tehran. And who are the friends of Iran? The friends, as I said, are authoritarian regimes. It was Venezuela until recently. It's Russia and China, or possibly North Korea too. So this shows many things, even to the blind, even to a blind person. So this is Dimitris Eleas from New York with my yellow pencil, as I say. Thank you very much. If you want, you can make a like, you can subscribe, or you can write a comment. And I hope to see you soon. And we hope to see better days in Iran for the people of Iran, by the people of Iran, for the people of Iran. Of course, as I said also, a bit of a small external help always help. That headline in the Wall Street Journal of its in its editorial says it all. So it's going to happen. Thank you very much.